Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Gander Gardening with Dawn, and I garden here in Zone 5A in Gander, Newfoundland. And today is a beautiful late summer day. It's September the 5th, and it is a little windy, but not too bad. So I decided today to gather some seeds from some of my plants so I could grow more of them next year. So I decided to record a little of what I was collecting and share that information with you. And I hope that it will be of some help to you. Thank you very, very much for watching. These are some beautiful Nicotiana known as Crimson Better. And I'm going to try to take some seeds from them. Right here, you can see some of the dried pods, and I'm going to try to use my scissors and cut off the pods, the brown dry ones, so they fall into this container. And in this case, there are some dried pods that are right here, and I'm just going to pick them off and throw them into the container. Like you're picking blueberries. And once you get enough, because there are hundreds of seeds in each little pods of these, you can put the cover on and give your container a great shake. And then when you take the cover off, you can see all of the seeds that you get. And then you can take the pods out and put the seeds in a little envelope and mark them, and they will be fantastic for next year. Here we have a couple of pods left on a Dalmatian peach foxglove. As you can see, I cut off the main stem. I just left a couple of pods to go to seed, and let's see what we got out of those. I'm just going to pick one off, and wow. That's just one pod, and I'm just going to see what might be left in the other pod that's here. Wow, that's a pretty good result from just 2 pods. I would say we have easily 50 or more seeds in just 2 pods. You can see they're very, very tiny. Now the thing about this particular flower, it's an F1 hybrid, which means that it will not come true to seed. It will not be an exact Dalmatian peach foxglove, but it should be a foxglove that's in that sort of family, but it will have been cross-pollinated by something else. And also right here, this is what a foxglove looks like that you start one year that will bloom the next. This one I started in the spring, and this particular one will bloom next year. I believe this one is an Apricot Beauty, because I think any of you that follow my channel know that peach and apricot are some of my favorite colors in the garden. But look at the size of that thing. It's about 2 feet in diameter already. So I'm expecting a really big foxglove right here next year. These are some pretty large pods that are on some columbine. These are Aquilegia, and this one is a barrow variety. And there's actually a little spider crawling on that one right there. So I will avoid that one, and I will get one of these, or a couple of these that are down there. And you can just pick them off, and you can actually just dump the seeds right out of them. And also, you can do the same thing that I did earlier, shake, and then take the pods out. And you can see these seeds are a lot larger than the ones for the Nicotiana. This is a perennial, and a short-lived perennial, but easy to grow from seed. Columbine. Here we have one stem with several little stems coming off from it of a plant called Cerinthe. Some people say Cerinthe, and it's also known as honeywort. And this actually has really tiny flowers, but they're very pretty. But if you lift up one of these pieces here, let me see if I can focus on that. And you see those black things in there, which you may think are bugs. They are not. Hopefully none of them are bugs. Let me see. Oops. And some just fell out. I'm going to see if I can get some to fall out into this. Here we go. Yeah, there's a couple that you can see, and they're quite large. And these seeds are really easy to start. Here we have a plant that's still blooming of peach-leaved bellflower. It's a perennial, and it usually looks much prettier than this, but this is quite late in the season now. But right here at the top you can see a pod, and the black that you see inside, I'm pretty sure are seeds. So I'm going to see if I can cut this particular pod and get it to go into my container below. Wow, did you see that? Look at the seeds from just one little pod. The seeds are tiny, no question about it, but I would guess at least 100 in that one pod. So you don't need to let a lot of flowers go to seed, just a couple, and you'll have plenty. And fresh seed from your own garden will absolutely grow the best flowers the following year. This is Apollo White Cosmos, and these were grown from seed that I collected from the same plants last year. So I'm going to try to repeat the process again. In this case, it's a little bit different. The plants don't actually form pods that are as distinct as some of the others, but when the plants dry out, like we have here, and when you pull the fluffy dried heads apart, you will find these very dark, almost black seeds, and they are long and oblong shaped and fairly thin, but you can see them quite clearly. They are the darkest parts of what will come apart from those fluffy flower centers, I guess we'll call them. They're not really pods. And then there are some plants like this apricot Alaska nasturtium that if you just look close by, if it's close to pavement, you will find the seeds, large, very large seeds. There's one that you can just pick up off of the ground. There's one, and two, and three. They look like little nuts, and you can just pick them up. There you go. They just fall off the plant when they're ready, and they're quite large. There they are in comparison to the size of a bloom.